All right, welcome to another Dolphin Computer Service video. Today we're going to be talking about network cards. These are one of the more common upgrades and or replacements that I do. We're going to start off here with this FenV unit. This is a Wi-Fi / Bluetooth card. It uses the PCIe slot, the ×1. This is more than enough. These antennas can vary differently. You have the blade style here. Some of these you could actually get for the one that's on a wire, and you can like remotely put it wherever you want. The reason why this one has two is because one, it does both Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. It's also dual band, which means it has 2.4 gigahertz and a 5 gigahertz. This cable here is for the Bluetooth, where you plug it in here to this 4-pin slot here, and it converts it to the USB header pin on your motherboard. And the reason why they normally do that for Bluetooth is because Bluetooth is really meant for two different types of devices to communicate with each other. Bluetooth is really not that fast. It's, it's perfect for audio and, transferring some files, if you don't mind it taking a while. But, that's basically what Bluetooth is for. We have here, on the other one here, is the Ethernet card, also using PCIe ×1. This one's an Intel-based one. This is a 1 gigabit Ethernet port. You could also put these on a small form factor, which is what this bracket is for this one. This one also has a small form factor option. And these vary greatly. This is the 1 gigabit version. You have a 10 gigabit version, and you have a 100 gigabit version. Those are obviously more expensive, but those options are available. And in the Wi-Fi, we have like this one, where is a Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. We have some that are just Bluetooth. We have some that are just Wi-Fi. And the Wi-Fi standards are different. This one's a Wi-Fi 5 card. And in fact, this one is, if you take this cover off here, underneath here, because this piece here is actually just an, is essentially just a PCI to a NGFF adapter. And what that means is that when you take this cover off, the Wi-Fi card is actually in here, and which means that you can put in any Wi-Fi card you want, actually. So you can, like, this Wi-Fi card has both Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, which is why you have this. And sometimes you can buy just this piece here, or you could buy the whole unit with the Wi-Fi card already installed. It's a chip about that big. Sometimes they use the M.2 slot, or which is, what your typical, new solid state drive is. It's a little stick like that. And you can basically put in whatever card you want. So if the card does die, instead of having to throw this whole thing out, you can just pop that cover off, put the new one in, or if you want to upgrade it, put the new one in, and you're good to go. Again, the Bluetooth will always use the USB. I've always seen them use USB. And the last kind is this one here, which is the USB kind. This one is just USB Bluetooth, but they sell them where it's USB, Bluetooth, and Wi-Fi. And some of these, like this one's a USB 4.0, which is a Bluetooth 4.0, which is also what this one is. The latest standard is the 5.0, and the latest standard for Wi-Fi is Wi-Fi 6. Which is what I like to install the latest one whenever possible, because that way you get more longevity over the system. It's lifespan, you get the latest standard, it's gonna work. Everything is backwards compatible. But if you get a Wi-Fi 5 or a USB 4.0 or a Bluetooth 4.0, it really doesn't matter. You still get all the jobs done. And normally with these Bluetooth ones, I usually tend to stay away from them, not because they're bad. In fact, they're very great. Some of these are also on an extension cord where you can, remotely put it on a desk so you get a better signal. But me, it's just out of preference why I prefer internal over the external, because I just like my Wi-Fi. I like my computer, nice and clean as possible. I don't like things sticking out of it. I like to keep the cables, as inside, and as organized as possible. I like to also keep my USB slots available for other things like flash drives, adapters, and all that. But you know, there's nothing wrong with going the USB. In fact, if you go to Best Buy or Home or Office Depot or, you know, whatnot, you'll usually see mainly these, you know, because again, they're very convenient. They're not bad at all. And you could actually have both of these in a computer. Most computers now have at least this built in, a gigabit Ethernet port built in, but a lot of them don't have a Wi-Fi built in just yet. And if they do, it's actually not something like this. It's actually just a little chip inside. So you could actually run both of these at the same time if you want. In fact, some computers have multiple of these where they'll have the built-in one and then another one of these. Why you want that is because for people that are transferring large amounts of file or moving large amounts of data between computers or servers, this is basically the fastest way of doing it. It's also one of the more secure options because you don't have radio signals emitting where someone can intercept them. You know, the only way to intercept a private connection with a cable is, you know, you actually have to physically be there and tap into it. But, you know, like a lot of the Mac Pros and even some of the Mac Minis, they have two of these. So you can do your data transfer speeds as quick as possible, you know, when you're downloading huge raw files from photos or videos. You know, those files get pretty big and you don't want to just sit there waiting for your file to upload or download. And this, having multiple of these, allows you to do it. For the Wi-Fi, you really only want one because there's no point in having multiple ones. You know, the Wi-Fi is more of a convenience thing, or when there's no other option. You know, I always tell everyone to run a hardwired connection whenever possible, but you know, sometimes it's not. So the Wi-Fi card is always a good option. You don't want to really cheap out on these. Like this one here's a good one. I usually install these for everyone when they just want a basic Wi-Fi Bluetooth combo card. There's more expensive ones, obviously, but when you go really cheap, like you can pick up some of these for like $5, but when you get really cheap, I've seen where the radio interference interferes with like the Bluetooth part. So when you're trying to listen to Bluetooth music, it'll start chopping, sounding really choppy. Or when you're trying to use a Bluetooth mouse and you're downloading large files, the Bluetooth mouse will just stop working or work erratically because of how much interference, which is why, you know, if you are going to buy one of these, don't get the cheapest one, get one with that, you know, this one's about $25, something like that. Don't look at the reviews, obviously, you know, like just don't cheap out. And that's basically it for these things. These things are really great for computers that don't have it and you want to add it. And, you know, there's no sense in getting rid of a computer just because it's missing Wi-Fi. You can just get one of these. We offer that service where we can replace or add one as part of our computer upgrade service. You can visit our website, dolphincompservice.com, for more. We have the link in the description down there if you want to see it. But thank you for watching this video and have yourself a good day, folks.